This is Christina Feliciano with Feliciano and Friends. I have my friend Amanda Devoe here. She is an anchor here in Jacksonville and Emmy Award winning, and we're going to talk about her incredible journey and how she reached all the milestones that she has. So thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be here.
This is exciting. So tell me a little bit about yourself, your background. Where are you from and what led you to journalism?
Okay, so I'm originally from Prince George's County, Maryland, by way of North Carolina.
I was born in PG County.
Were you?
Yes.
What part?
In Bowie, but I wasn't there long.
Me too.
Were you born there?
No, I was born in Greensboro. I moved to Maryland when I was 2.
I was raised in Maryland my whole life, though.
Really?
Yeah, in Howard County, the western part of the county.
Oh, yeah.
We raced horses my whole life, and we had a farm out there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, yeah, the Bowie wasn't like that.
No. It was, my parents were like in a little apartment in Bowie, and then my grandpa had the farm, and then when I was like less than a year, we moved that way.
Okay, yeah. I was like in a little subdivision around the corner from like Six Flags, if you're familiar.
Yeah. Oh my
Woodmore
goodness.
and all of that. Yeah.
That's such a small world. How long were you in Maryland for?
Until I was 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so
Then I moved to Raleigh, Durham after that.
Okay.
So I like to say I have a little bit of like Southern spice, you
Yes.
know. But yeah,
Oh,
my mom was a teacher in Prince George's County Public Schools.
Oh wow.
My dad's an attorney, so yeah, he got a job up there, and that's why the family moved up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think when PG. What others? I don't know. I can't think of the other cities in there.
You have Largo, Greenbelt,
Yeah.
Lanham.
No.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Bowie racetrack too. That's where. So that was why we lived there. So because we raced horses, and there used to be Bowie racetrack.
Yeah.
Sorry, but why was my dad and mom in Bowie? But that's why.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
yeah. And they're still up there.
No, they're in Orange Park now. They
okay.
lived. I mean, they were up there my whole life. We had the farm, and they sold the farm maybe like about a decade ago. The Maryland race horse industry kind of changed and went out of business. And then my brother's in Orange Park, and then about a year and a half, maybe 2-3 years ago, my parents moved to Orange Park.
Oh,
cool.
So they're Florida people now.
Yeah, they're Florida people now.
Yeah, they'll be in the cold.
Right. Well, my mom my mom was born and raised in Sweden. And she likes the cold, so it's hard for her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she's kind of missing it. But,
yeah, I bet it's a little chilly now. So
I know it has been kind of cold.
Yeah.
So and then you were for high school. You were in North Carolina.
Yes.
And then what made you want to do journalism?
Well, there was a reporter that came to my class when I was in 11th grade.
Yeah.
So she just talked about all of the exciting things about being a journalist, and she lived in this podunk town in New York, and so she just talked about how it was just interesting living in New York and then working her way up to finally making it to Raleigh.
Yeah.
And so I was just so intrigued by that, because I was like, okay, I love to talk. I love just chatting with people and finding out and being really nosy. Like, I would ask so many questions, like, okay, when I'm talking to my mom, did you ask this person this? Like, what did they say? She was like, I did not ask all of these questions because I didn't care that much.
Yeah.
But see, I cared a lot about different things, what someone's story was. And so I was like, okay, this reporter really inspired me to get into journalism.
So where did you go to school then?
I went to UNC Charlotte.
Okay.
And so that's where I majored in communications. And then for grad school, I went to DePaul University in Chicago, and I majored I got my master's in journalism there.
Okay, so what was your first journalism job?
It was in Rockford, Illinois.
So what brought you there? Is that
mostly because the news director at the time, he hired mostly people either from Illinois or Wisconsin, as far as they had ties there. And so since I had the master's degree from DePaul in Chicago and Illinois, that was only like an hour and a half away from my grad school. So
okay,
that was cool.
Very cool. So then when did you come down to Jacksonville? And you're on the morning show now?
I'm on the morning show. Okay. I came to Jacksonville in 2022. So I had hopped around. I had been at maybe like 3 or 4 different stations. So I was in Rockford for 2 years, then Milwaukee, and then I did a little bit of freelancing in Chicago, went down to Alabama, Mobile, and then from Mobile I came here.
Okay, so being on the morning show, tell us a little about your routine. What time do you have to be there? It seems so glamorous, I think, being on television.
Oh my gosh, it is anything but, I want to say.
I know a little bit more now that I just do the once-a-month stuff, but it's still, but everyone feels like it does seem super glamorous. So what's your morning like? What's your routine?
So usually I'm waking up at about 1:45, 2 o'clock in the morning.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed around 6:37 maybe.
Wow.
I try to be in bed by 7 o'clock, even though.
Thank you for being here.
I know. Well, no, it's cool because sometimes I'll have occasions where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay out late this time, and make sure I get a good nap and all of that type of thing. Okay. So
You get a point. So sorry to interrupt you. So go on. 1:30, 2:30 a.m.
About 1:45 to 2 o'clock, and so then I'm getting up, and I A lot of the time, sometimes I'll do my makeup at home because a lot of people think that when you're on air that there's a makeup artist or something like that. Typically, nowadays you don't see makeup artists and hairstylists working for news anchors or anything like that unless you're in like a really, really big market like Chicago, for example. And even in Chicago, you have to do your own makeup nowadays. Okay. Sometimes they'll have a freelance makeup artist come in and do the makeup for people who are in the studio, but typically it's like you go, you do your own makeup, your hair. Typically I'll make some coffee because I need to have like a coffee and a Red Bull. Those
me
two
too.
Things.
We're twins.
Yes.
We are twins.
Yes. That keeps me up. Yes. So then I'll do that, and so hair, makeup, make sure everything is good. I usually do that at the at the station. We have like a little makeup room where we do all of that.
And how time are other people getting there? So what time are you there?
It's like usually there are producers there overnight that come in maybe around 10 or 11 at night, and they're starting to work on the morning show and do that. Okay. So they're writing stories, and so by the time I come in, there's producers already there writing stories.
And what time do you get there?
I get there around 3 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
So then you do your coffee and Red Bull and makeup there?
Yeah, so typically I either make my coffee at home, or I'll run by like a Wawa or something and get some coffee, and then I'll have my Red Bull and all of that. So I'm taking that with me to the station, and then I'm doing my hair and makeup as I'm drinking like my Red Bull and all that type of stuff.
Oh, that's cool. And then what time do you go on?
4:30.
Okay, and then those stories are already written for you at that time?
Yeah, the stories are written for you. So what typically, I always say, like, as an anchor, never ever read something for the first time on live TV. Like, always have read it once or twice before going on air. So usually I'll read over the show. Every day, always, I read over the show.
Is that because sometimes the teleprompter could be wrong, or because of like...
Well, it could be... Well, we have iPads as backup just in case like the teleprompter goes out, because the teleprompter has turned black on me in the middle of me reading a show before. So then I'll have my iPad there, which will have the scripts as backup. But typically it's like you don't want it, just in case there are typos, or if there's anything that, may be out of place or something, or you want to be able to pronounce a word properly, that type of thing.
Okay, very cool. So then has there ever been any bloopers or anything that you've had?
Oh there was a blooper that I did like recently, like a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I literally, there was a story, it was a sports story, and I don't know very much about baseball, but Shohei Ohtani is this really popular baseball player right now. Have you heard of him?
I have not.
Okay, so he is a popular baseball player. And so I was my co-anchor. He was just going on and on about this guy because that was his read, and I was just like, "Oh, you're talking about Shohei? What about Barry Sanders?" And I'm thinking, "Oh, I know baseball," but he said Barry Sanders is a football player. And I was like, so everybody just cracked up in the studio. That was like one of the biggest bloopers because
is there Barry Bonds?
Barry Bonds.
There was a Barry,
but
when you said it, I didn't get it. I was like, that's tracking.
I thought it tracked too until he told me. And I was like, I meant to say Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds.
Yeah. So that was a funny one. Yeah.
So what are some things about being a news anchor that you think people would be surprised to learn?
Wow. I feel like one thing I feel like people would be surprised is how much that we do, because a lot of people think that you just come on air, like you're just walking in there and you're just, you get your hair and your makeup done and then you come and sit in the chair and you just start reading. But they don't realize that it's a lot of writing, a lot of research that goes into it, a lot of fact checking. And then a lot of times when you're first starting out and you're a news anchor, and especially in the small markets, you're everything. You're the photographer, you're the editor, you're the writer, you're the producer, you're even making graphics. So it's a lot that goes into it.
That's cool. So you are an Emmy-winning journalist. That's really cool. I don't think I've met anyone that's ever won an Emmy.
Wow, yeah.
How did that happen, and what was that for?
Well,
that's super cool. Like, I honestly, that's really impressive. Congratulations.
Really? Thank you. Yeah, I won in 2023. I had been nominated the year before when I was in Alabama.
Have you ever been nominated? Sorry.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I'm not. No.
Sorry.
Katie's off. Oh my gosh.
She emailed me. You know what they said? You won the Ugly Face Award, and I was like, "An award's an award, okay?"
Listen, Katie's like, "I'll take it," but you're far from it, so you were not gonna get that award. Yes. Yes. Yeah, hilarious. Yeah. So that was so I learned how to swim in Jacksonville. Right.
Okay.
So I when I moved here, I was like, okay, I'm surrounded by water. I need to know how to swim.
Yeah.
And so I had taken lessons growing up, even when I was in Maryland, but they just really would not stick. I was just always nervous around water.
Because you were afraid?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was like, so like the swim instructor when I was a little kid would say, tell my mom like, hey, she's a little nervous, so she may need like more lessons so that she can get the hang of it. And so I just never like got back to learning how to swim. And then I had a near drowning experience when I was 12. And so I was like, okay, I'm not dealing with this anymore. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, I want to know how to swim, and and it's a way to exercise and that type of thing. And so the station followed me learning how to swim on TV. The YMCA taught me how to swim here in Jacksonville.
So cool. That's what you won an Emmy for?
I did win an Emmy for that.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So that leads to me wondering why.
Do you have a clip of that you could send Izzy?
Yeah. I can send that.
Yeah. Better picture.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So then, when I was thinking, because I'm always thinking about what's new, and so I was like, okay, the Black population, a lot of Black people do not know how to swim. Why is that? So it made me think, okay, let's do a series on the root causes of why. Yeah, why it's because a lot of it is different factors. A lot of it has to do with there's a little bit of racism that goes into it, and then there's also this natural fear of the water, and then there's stories about how there wasn't a pool in Jacksonville for Black people to enjoy. So if Black people wanted to learn how to swim, they would have to either go learn in rivers, creeks, or even oceans, which can be dangerous.
For sure.
Yeah. And so I did a story on how the Black community first got a pool. I also did a story about in St. Augustine how Martin Luther King came down and helped integrate the pool and things like that. One of the pools, the hotel pool, where the man poured acid in the pool in the 60s. That turned into a law of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 being passed. And so that was how, when people were no longer segregated. And so I told those stories, which led to me getting nominated and then eventually winning the award. Wow. And I thought it was really cool because it really showed, the whole correlation with why there's such this disparity with why the drowning rates are so much higher in the Black community. And a lot of it does have to do with systemic racism, and then different things about this natural fear that many have about the water. But even honestly, it's only a little bit over 50% of people know how to swim. So it's really not even high numbers, no matter your race.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is.
I told you my mother was Swedish.
Yeah.
So in Sweden, she lives in Stockholm, but they had summer houses on Ingarö, which is an island in the Baltic Sea outside of Stockholm. But they let the kids just kind of run wild. But they teach them at baby infants to swim.
Wow.
So my mom, so I had the opposite experience where my mom took me to the baby classes
and then threw you in.
Yeah. So I've never remembered learning school. And then my mom, she had an experience when she was a child where the Baltic Sea freezes, right? And she had an experience where one of her neighbors, they were walking, a young kid her age, and it ended up cracking and the kid drowned, right?
Wow.
I don't think it was really a swim, probably swim because you think he went under the ice. But either way, that was a big fear of hers. So my mom, too, had me go to the YMCA where they had us all in clothing and a Survivor.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Where, I had to go in the water, be able to take off clothes. Yeah. And then I had to learn, if you ever, if you're ever in the ocean or something, and I don't know if you know this, but you should just go on your back.
Yeah. You float.
You just float. So it's interesting. So I had my mom was kind of hypervigilant the opposite way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because my parents didn't learn how to swim until they went to college.
Okay.
Yeah. And so and my dad, he had someone cheat for him to take the swim test at his college. I know he's probably like, why did you tell me that? But he jokes about it now.
Yeah,
and he has a pool in his backyard, so it's cool.
Do you like swimming now?
I love swimming. I do it for fitness.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what helps me decompress.
Yeah.
After a long day.
Oh, that's awesome. So you do laps now for fitness?
I swim laps. I have flippers. I have my Apple Watch.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have this perfect this swim cap that really locks it in, and it's it's literally a Black-owned company that, because Black women in their hair, we have a love story with our hair, so we are okay, we don't want to get it wet, so this literally it seals it out, it has a lock on it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, so it's pretty cool.
That's super cool.
The hair umbrella.
Oh, where do you go swim with the Y?
I swim at the Y.
Okay.
Yeah. So I love swimming laps there. It's
That's so
cool.
cool. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So you cover serious stories, but what's the favorite story that you've covered?
Oh, that's a good one. I want to say that one of my favorites, I have two. So one story that's a favorite of mine is when so back to the story where the series where I won an Emmy for. So there's a foundation that teaches children and adults on the north side of Jacksonville how to swim for free. And it's the Shondi DeLife's Foundation.
Oh, very
cool. And so the story is just really powerful because it's about a mom who lost her son, but she didn't lose him to drowning. He was a swim coach, and he died, at 30 years old of natural causes. He died in his sleep.
Oh my goodness.
And so she, Miss DeLife's, decided that she wanted her son's legacy to live on because he ended up becoming. You about to go?
I have to go.
Go. All right, bye, girl.
Bye.
I'm so
Bye,
happy.
Katie. Yes.
We'll see Katie next week. All
Yes.
right, love you.
I love that you told your swimming story. Like that is that's the coolest story.
If you
ever.
want, maybe just run by so they
Yeah.
can. No, I mean like in the front, so we can see that you were on.
Yeah.
In front of camera.
Yes.
So then we don't have to cut out the whole thing.
Bye, guys.
Katie's making an appearance.
Bye.
All right, we'll see Katie next Thursday.
Love you guys.
Yeah,
Love you.
bye.
See you next Thursday.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So she started the foundation and named it after her son, and her son actually taught like 2 Olympic athletes.
Wow.
Yeah. So she taught 1,500 people how to swim, and so
That's like that makes me like want to cry. That's really special. Because
Yeah, it
really,
is.
Like drowning is. It sounds silly, but that's deadly. So
It's
to
deadly.
be able to do that, like that's an amazing thing to do as a legacy for somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really special.
Yeah.
I love
So,
that she did that.
yeah, it's still going strong. So I love that.
And repeat the foundation name again.
The Shondi DeLife's Foundation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then what's your second favorite one? Or maybe they're equally as favorite.
Yeah, well, I have another favorite that
Yeah.
I recently did. It was on the song "Lift Every Voice and Sing" by James Weldon Johnson, and so it's the Black National Anthem, but it was written in Jacksonville. And so I thought that was really cool. I mean, the photographer I worked with, his name is Paul. We won the Emmy together for the series. It was called The Ripple Effect, which was the series I won an Emmy for. And so we worked on that. And I mean, it was a lot of hard work that went into it, and research and just talking to the people about the history of the song as far as historians. And so that's one that I'm really proud of because I know all of the work that went into it.
Oh, that's super cool.
And so I think that that's something that
And when was that written?
When was that written?
Mm-hmm.
It was written in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But no, when was the song in it?
The song was written in 1900.
Okay.
Yeah. So 125 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's been around for a long time.
Oh, yeah, that's super cool. And it was written here in Jacksonville?
It was written here in Jacksonville, but it's sung at the Super Bowl. Like, I mean, Beyonce sung it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it has a very, very strong history.
And what's it called again? I'm sorry.
Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, so I like that one a lot.
So what do you think about Jacksonville? What's your favorite part? What do you like about Jacksonville? What do you do to unwind in this city?
Yeah. So aside from swimming, I love hanging out with friends. So
what part of town do you live in?
I live on the south side.
Okay.
So yeah, so not too far from like the movie theater and things like that.
Okay. So
yeah.
it's busy.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Kind of moved. But...
That's right. She just bought a house.
Really?
Congratulations again.
Yes,
sorry.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Southside is
South.
Yeah.
I love it because it's right near town center and everything. Yeah, I love it. So so Jacksonville. What's interesting is that even though I'm not from here, my grandmother on my dad's side is originally from Jacksonville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it kind of feels like home.
It kind of feels like home because I have several aunts and uncles that live here and cousins. So it's kind of like I remember growing up and visiting Jacksonville like maybe once or twice a year.
Oh, okay.
So I mean,
that's cool.
Yeah. But it's different when you're visiting and when you're living.
Yeah.
And so it's I like it. I mean, it's definitely a lot slower than what I'm used to. Of course, I've lived in Chicago, Milwaukee, different places like that, and even the DC area. But I still feel like it has like a lot of character. Like it's really, I like the beach, of course. And what else do I like here? I just think that there's just a lot surprisingly, there is a lot to do. Yeah. And people do, like, celebrities come here for concerts, so I think it's still a good time.
Yeah, I love it, but I love the beach, though.
Yeah,
so
the beach,
I don't get tired of the beach. So.
Yeah. Me either.
And then I thought it was so cool. I saw that you just recently interviewed John Legend.
I was so excited about
he's
that.
He's an EGOT, isn't he?
Yeah, he is an EGOT.
I was telling Izzy about that.
So the funny thing is that I found out he was my 5th cousin like 3 years ago.
How did you find out?
Okay, so one of my cousins, he was doing the family tree.
Yeah.
And so he saw different names on there and he was like, you know, he saw his mother's name on there, last name Stevens, and his grandmother's last name Stevens on the tree. And so then as he looked further down, he saw John Stevens on the tree, which is his real last name. And so we were like, oh my gosh. And so so when I interviewed him, I said, you know, I just wanted to throw this out here that, you know, I'm a distant cousin of yours, you know, from the Bass family. He said, yeah, I know the Bass family. He was like, yeah.
That's super cool.
And so when he was talking about his upbringing, when we did the interview, he was like, yeah, our ancestors and stuff, talking about me.
That's
so
super cool.
I thought that was really cool. So
I love that.
Yeah, so it was good.
Was he nice?
He was nice. And surprisingly, you know, with those types of interviews, because he's so successful, like sometimes, you know, you don't know if he'll interview with the local news. Sometimes you think that it'll be like, you know, major networks and things like that. But I think like with him, he really does value the power of like local news. And so that's why he, you know, does interviews and things. And so initially, you know, they give you like these 5 minutes to talk to him, but he talked for longer than that. So I did appreciate it.
I know. I was like telling Izzy, I'm like, I feel like I'm just special because I'm interviewing someone that interviewed. Like,
right.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
He's really I mean, you are too. You know, because there's not many like EGOTs.
Exactly, and he's a familiar face. Like you don't have to explain to somebody who is John Legend. Like people just know.
No, that was super cool. And what's he here for?
He was here for a concert. He performed. He's on tour for celebrating his first album. So that was really
nice.
Awesome.
Have you gone to the zoo here?
Yes, I went to the zoo a few months ago for the first time.
I used to love going to the zoo with my kids. I like it.
It's so nice. I like being a big kid, just going there and seeing the penguins.
The zoo.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, that's fun. And then you said you did you said you do Red Bull. What is your favorite snacks?
Oh my gosh, what is my favorite snack? I love grapes.
Do you?
Fruit is like my favorite.
Yeah.
I love my grapes. I love kiwis, strawberries, mangoes. I love all of that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's grapes are my least favorite.
Really?
But it's something with the texture.
Oh, okay.
So I love grapes if they're like cut up in like a chicken salad. Like I do like it in things if it's cut, but there's something about I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I feel about bananas a little bit.
Okay, I'm a little bit with banana. Yeah. But I love berries.
Berries are good too, especially in oatmeal or like overnight oats. Yeah.
And then the Publix has, at least I don't know if they all do, I'm sure they do, but our local Publix has a little like it's always ready like a berry cup with like fresh blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, strawberries.
Really?
Yes, and they always have it right. You know, like it's always that. And then I get that, and then I get the they also always have fresh guacamole with little pico on top. And I get those for little snacks. I love it. Yeah, it's all fresh. It's so good.
I have an intolerance to avocados.
Oh my goodness.
So it's like I would love to eat them, but it's just like every time I eat them I have to throw up.
Oh no.
I would love to and the taste is not terrible. Like I just can't eat it.
Oh my goodness. I know people a lot of people don't like them though. Like I know people are very
Yeah, but they're so good for you.
They are.
Yeah, so I'm like, ugh gosh, I can't I cannot believe that.
Oh, I love pineapples too.
Pineapples are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boyfriend hates pineapples, so I haven't
How could you hate a pineapple?
I know.
I can see being neutral, but to hate a pineapple.
Yeah.
Is it texture or taste or everything?
He does not like the taste at all.
That's so funny. I love it.
Me too. And they're good. It's good for digestion. Yeah. And I'm telling him, I'm like, Gino, like, what is going on with you?
Gotta get each other
like, no.
Do you drink pineapple juice?
No. Like, nothing has to happen. Like, literally, I'll make pineapple cake, and it doesn't, like, sometimes.
That pineapple upside down cake.
Yeah. So you'll buy the box. You know, you just, like, buy the box, and it doesn't have the real pineapple flavor in it, but he'll like to eat cake batter. So he's like, oh, I'm gonna taste it. I'm like, okay, fine. It doesn't really have pineapple in it, but I guess they have something that mimics its flavor. So he's spitting it out, and I'm just like, that doesn't even have like. You look at the box of ingredients, they don't have like dried pineapple or anything in it. Like, so it's really weird. It's really weird.
If you could interview anyone, living or dead, or let's pick some both, living and dead, who would you interview?
Oh my gosh, living. Oh my gosh, that's a good one. I would say Oprah.
Okay.
The reason why I would say Oprah is because She is such a good interviewer. Like, I just look at her and I'm just kind of like, wow. Like, you're not flinching. You know, you can ask the tough questions. Like, I mean, just she'll talk to like controversial figures and not be afraid to ask the question. And I would love. I mean, and I'm the type of person. I'm really awkward at times, and so
You don't seem like you would.
I feel like I'm super awkward, and so I would have moments where I'm like, okay, this is a very awkward thing for me to ask. I mean, I've asked tough questions because that's my job, but it's kind of like for her to do it, and it's just so natural. It's just like something that I would love.
Do you think she always knew how to do it, or do you think she developed it?
I think maybe she developed it. I mean, I've looked in, into her story and everything.
Yeah.
And so she, she worked in local news as a news anchor and a reporter, and so she was the type where she said that she would just get emotional with the people she was interviewing, and so she was like, that's part of the reason why she got fired from her job in Baltimore was because she was crying with the interviewers, and I'm like, wow, like that's she has a lot of compassion, so that made me think, oh wow, she's really compassionate if she's doing that.
Oh, that's cool.
So someone dead. Gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna think of this real quick. Maybe James Baldwin. He's an author, and so James Baldwin, he was part of like this Renaissance back in like the 40s and 50s.
What did he write?
There's a movie that came out like about 6 or 7 years ago, If Bill Street Could Talk, that was created after him, and it was nominated for an Oscar.
Oh wow! What's it called?
If Beale Street Could Talk. Well, if Beale, Beale Street could talk.
Beale Street could talk.
But but maybe another dead person. Let me think. I feel like there's a recent one that I want to talk. Like I would love to interview. What about like maybe Michael Jackson? That might be interesting. I mean, he's good. Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Those two were, they were iconic, but her interviews are so iconic when you look back at them. Those are good. She was okay, never cut.
No, what did you think about the model that dressed up as her? Did you think that was like okay or controversial?
Ooh.
Winnie.
Who?
You didn't know this?
No.
I'll Google and show you. So there's a famous model right now that dressed up.
I know about the one that dressed up as Jackie O.
No.
Did you see that one?
Yeah. Well, show that one.
Oh my gosh, that was horrible.
Yeah, that one I feel like was bad. And I don't like, what was her name that did that, the Jackie analysis? Kanye West had dated her.
Yeah, I do know. Is it Julia Fox?
Julia Fox, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like she was just it's like, I felt like she was doing it to be a provocateur.
Yeah.
And then she tried to say, like, I'm doing this because of, like, an homage to her, because she was so strong, because she walked around in this. It's like, because she couldn't choose not to. It literally was on her because his brains came off on her. Yeah. It wasn't like this, like, she chose to stay in uniform. Like, that's what this unfortunate circumstance of what happened. And then she said he was like, I want people to see what was done to him, but I felt that it was distasteful, and then especially when his family spoke out and said it was distasteful, then I'm like, okay,
exactly, the grandson spoke out,
so if the family's saying it's distasteful,
because there's so many iconic images of her that you could have chosen
to really honor her,
exactly.
And then, Whitney. Okay, I'm going to read. Whitney Harlow, and I'll show you the picture, recreated a viral moment of Whitney Houston accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award at the 2001 BET Awards for Halloween, which sparked both praise and criticism. Some viewers found the impression disrespectful, viewing it as a recreation of a vulnerable moment, and then others defended it, and then I'll show you a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. That was it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
To my My Nippy Inc. family, Donna, Lynn, Pat, Lori, Shelly, Aaliyah, Rose, Brian, Darren, and Ulysses. Thank you for holding down the fort. Ha 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 ha. Lastly, hey, wait. That's mine. That's mine. Let me handle this. You better chill. You better lay low.
I thought it was. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so that happened this Halloween that she did that.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
it was just a little.
So it was controversial.
Yeah.
Some people thought it was like disrespectful because they were like, it was like obviously or. Assuming she was high, you know, when she was doing it. So people, and then other people were like, she did a good job and it was funny.
Yeah.
So
I probably would have picked another Whitney moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, something with a little bit more dignity. But
Yeah.
I know that can be a little, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's because I do think it's hard sometimes, like, and you probably know this more relate to it because you probably meet more famous people. Like being in your position, where sometimes I think that people like forget that these are real life people.
Yeah, and just,
you know, like they're not just like they're human beings and they have families and things like that. Like it's not just it's not just a character in a movie. Like this is actually real life people. Right,
and they're under a microscope and like, you know, just how we all go through things in life. Yeah. They're going through things in the public eye, and so Whitney Houston has such an iconic voice. And so when she
beautiful, like the best voice.
Yes. And so because, you know, she had different struggles, it was kind of like magnified. Yeah. So I do think that I would have probably picked something else.
Something different.
Yeah. Because there's so many, like you could have picked Waiting to Exhale. Yeah. Like that movie she was so good in that. I'm just trying to think. The Bodyguard. The Bodyguard. Oh my gosh. You could have picked a scene from that. I mean, The Preacher's Wife was good. I mean, there were so many. There's so many
real
different
positive
options.
Things
Yeah, for sure.
So what's a piece of advice that you would give to someone that's wanting to break into broadcast journalism?
I would say definitely some advice I would give would be to always be willing to learn and not be afraid to make mistakes. Because I know when I first started out, I was so nervous, especially going live, because I knew I always wanted to be a journalist and I knew I wanted to be a TV journalist. But I didn't realize that like when the cameras are on you, you can get really nervous and shy. And that's what would happen to me. Like my heart would race. I would get so nervous. And you also have to have a thick skin, because if you are messing up on camera or you do something, the viewers are going to eat you up. Mm-hmm. And so there have been moments where I've had viewers in my first job say, get that reporter off the air. She was terrible. Aww. Because my live shot was so bad because I was so nervous. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, over time, you get better and, you know, but just having...
People be so hateful.
They are horrible. Like the internet. I'm saying. And I would hate to be out there now just starting out, because if you are messing up, because this was over 10 years ago. Yeah. But like, so the internet was there and Facebook was there, but it's like now you have TikTok where the clips just live on. Yeah. Like, so I would say, like, you know, always never stop learning, because the business and everything is always changing. And so it's just like when I first started, like there wasn't like Otter that could just transcribe your interviews. You had to listen to it and type them by hand. And then also you know, nowadays you have artificial intelligence that can help you with a lot of things. That wasn't there for me. I had to literally research it like myself without shortcuts like ChatGPT. Yeah. So but I mean, we're embracing AI now, so there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just like always never be afraid to learn, because you'll get left behind for sure.
And then what do you recommend the route to go to college and major in journalism? Was that the best route if someone is interested in doing it, to do it? How to get into it? Yeah.
I went to college and got a 4-year degree in communications. You don't need a master's. I got a master's because I have taught college before, but it's just totally optional. I just did it because I knew I probably wanted to work in higher education and teach. So that's why I got mine.
That's the
Yeah.
Let me ask you, because a lot of times, even for myself, I'll sometimes be like, I can't watch the news; it's just too overwhelming. Like, or you
Yeah.
gotta like, I can't do that all the
I
time.
hear
So
that
this
a
is
lot.
your livelihood. So how
Yeah.
do you do this for a life and not get overwhelmed or separated or?
Yeah, it's hard. You
Yeah.
try to compartmentalize it and things, but you
Okay.
also at the same time want to have compassion, because if you're telling these stories about, these are people's lives.
Yeah.
And so I try to look at it as like, this may be my story for the day, but this is their life. They have to live with it. And I have had family members, I've reported on family that have lost loved ones,
Yeah.
so it can be tough, but I think that it's important to understand that you need to, make sure that you find your why outside of work and don't let it define you. And I think that that's the best way to kind of not let all of the things that are going on in the world bring you down.
Yeah. So what's your why?
My why, I mean, I read, I listen to podcasts a lot.
What's your favorite podcast?
Oh my gosh, Mel Robbins, the Mel Robbins podcast.
I do like her.
I love her because like she does like she has different tips and she brings on experts that'll really like, it's not just her just yapping. Like she's like, okay, here's this expert that will tell you why. And then her book, The Let Them Theory, has been really helpful for me, like just like tuning it out, like blocking out the noise.
Yeah.
And like just simple things like drinking a glass of water when you first wake up, which is part of my routine now, because that just like sets the tone.
It's interesting you said that, because I saw a little clip of her right before today, like when I was walking up here. And if she was talking to whoever she was interviewing, was like, do you ever get jealous? And she was like, no. And she was like, when you're jealous, just because sometimes she's like, just think about like, what are you wanting? And then if you can just pinpoint that, then you probably can, she just has like a really interesting way of like spinning things.
Yeah.
And just making you think of like something that could be negative, like jealousy, and kind of like deducing it to like, what is the feeling? So what are you jealous of? So then that jealousy is what you want. And now what in your life could you do to possibly get that?
Yeah.
Which was interesting. So I always ask the same two questions of everybody. The final two questions are the same. So I am a Christian, and it talks about in Psalms that a man without a vision perishes. So I think in a more sadder way, I do think a lot of times when people do commit suicide and things, it's because they are unable to see a hope or a vision, so I think it's important that, we have visions or hopes for our future. So where is your vision and hope for the next 5 years for yourself?
Oh yeah. So next 5 years, I'm working. I would love to be an attorney in 5 years.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So I'm studying for the LSAT.
LSAT. My late husband was an attorney.
Really? Yeah. My dad's an attorney.
Okay, very cool. What do you want to practice, or what do you?
That's a good question. I'm still trying to decide what the specialty would be, but it would probably be something where I'm helping a little guy. Like I just really I want to be that attorney where, if someone says no one will take my case, and I'll be the one to take it, because I do see that they have a case. So I would love to do something like that.
That's really interesting. I love that.
Yeah, and then aside from that, I would love to be on a bigger platform, doing the same thing. Documentaries. I would love one day to have my own production company and do documentaries and that type of thing. And then, of course, one day, I don't know what the journalism business is going to look like, the TV business, because it's always changing and things are like going towards streaming. But definitely a larger platform for sure.
That's really interesting. So when you say little guy, are you thinking like criminal defense or more
not
civil?
Necessarily criminal defense, but like say for example, like someone is on the verge of losing their land to like eminent domain, or if someone or if they just don't know their way around the legal system or something, or for example, if they work at a job and the job is clearly doing something that's illegal, whether it's making them an independent contractor when they're really supposed to be a W-2 employee, but they're doing things to like skirt around the system. And then you go to an attorney and they say you have a case, but they don't want to touch it because there might be arbitration involved. And I'm the type of person that's like, okay, bring it on.
That's cool.
So I'm like,
the reason I asked the criminal, I've been incarcerated and I do prison ministry now.
Yeah.
So I have interest in that. That stuff. That's why I asked.
And that too. I mean, because I've had some family members that have been in the criminal justice system, and I know like, sometimes it's just about, do you have enough money to get out of this? That type of thing. Sometimes the justice system can be like that. And so I do want to also, I wouldn't mind, getting into criminal law too.
So. Well, that's really cool. And are you wanting, where you'd want to go to law school?
I want to try to go online. My parents went to Ohio State.
Okay.
But I, it's still a thing. I would like to go to a law school that is, maybe like an online one that,
Okay.
that's accredited by the ABA, so I could still do my thing and where I don't have to like quit my job and,
Yes.
go to law school, because back in the day you would have had to quit and go and study, but there are options now. So
Okay, very
fingers
cool.
crossed that, the right one will come up and I'll get accepted into, the one that's right for me.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final question I ask everyone, is there like a quote or something that you live by? Or if you don't live by it, is there a favorite quote of some sort?
Oh my gosh. Well, one that comes to mind is like purpose, not pressure. Like focus on your purpose and not the pressure, because a lot of times you'll be pressured on getting these career milestones that you forget what your purpose is. And so sometimes your purpose is, helping someone. My purpose is making sure that this person's story is told and it helps somebody else. And so if you're so focused on getting to the next level, not saying you shouldn't be focused on getting to the next level, but don't lose sight of your purpose because of the pressure, because then you'll say, well, I'm supposed to be here, but I'm not. I'm supposed to be in LA, but I'm in Jacksonville, or whatever the case may be. So
That's good. I feel like I can use that advice. So
yeah, exactly. So just, you're meant to, wherever you're meant to be, you're meant to be. And I always believe, and I'm a woman of faith too. So I'm like, look, God has plans for me that are going to blow my mind.
And the plans are good.
And the plans are good. For I know the plans I have for you. So I try to think about that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. This has been a blessing, and you're so smart and talented.
Thank you.
And it was really interesting learning from you. So thank you. Thanks for watching.